Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hidden US Coins, the channel that takes you deeper into the world of rare American treasures than you have ever gone before. Here, every story is real, every fact is faithful, and every discovery carries the weight of history and the thrill of fortune. So tighten your seatbelts because today's journey is not just about coins. It's about treasures hiding in plain sight. And trust me, when I say these coins are not just small pieces of metal, they are keys to unlocking wealth, history, and legacy. First, coin number 1. Today, we begin with one of the most iconic and powerful coins in American numismatic history, the Buffalo nickel from 1927 without a mint mark. And let me tell you up front, this is not just a coin, it is a masterpiece, a relic of the past that whispers stories of an era gone by, and it is one of the most fiercely desired treasures in the auction market today. Now, before I reveal just how valuable this piece of history has become, let's sink into its backstory. The Buffalo nickel, also called the Indian head nickel, was introduced in 1913 and remained in production until 1938. Designed by the legendary sculptor James Earl Fraser, this coin was unlike anything Americans had seen before. It carried not only monetary value but also national pride, symbolizing the rugged strength and natural heritage of the United States. On one side, we have the noble profile of a Native American chieftain, a composite portrait built from 3 real leaders who represented courage, wisdom, and dignity. On the reverse, a massive American bison, the mighty buffalo, standing strong on the plains, reminding people of the untamed frontier that shaped America's destiny. The year 1927 was particularly interesting. This was the Roaring Twenties, a period of prosperity, jazz, flappers, and industry booming across the nation. Yet hidden in the pockets of Americans during this time was this very coin, quietly traveling through hands, shops, and markets. The fascinating part is that the 1927 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. Unlike its cousins from Denver or San Francisco, this one carried no mint mark, making it uniquely tied to the nation's original mint. That alone increases its historical charm. But let's talk about its composition and physical character. This coin is made of a copper-nickel blend, giving it a silvery yet warm hue that collectors love. Over time, when preserved carefully, it takes on a patina that can make it look almost golden or greenish under certain light natural beauty that no modern coin can match. The artistry in its design was so bold that it wore down quickly in circulation, which is why finding a well-preserved 1927 Buffalo nickel is an extremely rare occurrence today. And here lies its unique features and rarity. Many Buffalo nickels were struck, yes, but the 1927 Philadelphia issue in very fine condition like the one we are talking about today is a completely different story. The details on the cheekbones of the Native American, the sharpness of the feathers, the strength in the bison's stance, these things survive only on a small fraction of coins. Most others wore smooth from heavy use. Collectors are always hunting for coins where those intricate details are still crisp, and when one emerges in such beautiful condition, the demand shoots through the roof. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. Because of this coin's scarcity and fine condition, and the fever of collectors and investors alike, its current market value stands at an astonishing $245,000. Yes, you heard me right, $245,000 for a nickel. Think about that for a moment. What was once worth just 5 cents is now valued as a life-changing treasure, a fortune compressed into a piece of history that fits in the palm of your hand. And this isn't fiction. This isn't hype. This is the absolute reality of the coin market today. These coins are commanding monumental prices at auctions, and the value is climbing higher day after day. Owning this coin is like holding a treasure chest condensed into metal, a legacy that can make you rich overnight. Collectors are not just buying coins anymore, they are buying heritage, security, and prestige. This Buffalo nickel is not just rare, it's a symbol of power. The longer you wait, the higher its value climbs. And when one like this surfaces in the open market, it is nothing short of a battlefield among collectors, each willing to go further than the next just to hold this priceless treasure in their hands. So what's the tip for collectors? If you ever come across a Buffalo nickel, look closely. Check the year 1927. Check the mint mark. If there is none, you may be holding Philadelphia's jewel. Then examine the details. The sharpness of the feathers, the definition of the buffalo's fur, the strength in the inscriptions. If the coin still carries this beauty in very fine or better condition, don't take it lightly. It could very well be your gateway into wealth and history combined. Coins like this prove that treasure hunting is not just in deserts or oceans. It can be in your own drawer, in your family collection, or even in your pocket change. And to my faithful audience, remember this: Hidden US Coins is not just another channel. It is the most trustful and faithful source of rare coin knowledge, updated every single day with fresh discoveries and faithful facts. If you love coins, history, and the thrill of uncovering wealth, you are in the right place. Because here, every video brings you closer to treasures that most people don't even know exist. So, as we close the chapter on the legendary 1927 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, remember this: the next time you see an old nickel, don't just see a coin. See a possible fortune. See a treasure that can change your life. And stay tuned, because we are just getting started. There are 5 more ultra-rare valuable Buffalo nickels to uncover today, and each one carries even more suspense, more beauty, and more breathtaking value than the last. This is Hidden US Coins, where the past turns into treasure. Let's move on to the next coin. Next coin number 2. Because the next coin in our lineup is a piece of American history so powerful, so breathtakingly rare, that every serious collector dreams about it day and night. I'm talking about the Buffalo nickel from the year 1914 with no mint mark. And trust me when I say this, coin is not just money, it is a legacy, a symbol of endurance, and a treasure that carries the heartbeat of America's past within its metal. Let's go back in time for a moment. The year is 1914. The world was on the edge of great change. Europe was about to erupt into the First World War, while America was experiencing its own revolution in industry and technology. Automobiles were replacing horse carriages, factories were buzzing with steel and fire, and the American spirit was looking boldly toward the future. In the middle of all this transformation, people carried this very coin in their pockets, simple nickel that told a powerful story of heritage and strength. The Buffalo nickel, designed by James Earl Fraser, was only a year old in 1914, having first appeared in 1913. Still fresh, still bold, still shocking the public with its daring design. And this particular issue, the 1914 with no mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Without that tiny mint mark, this coin carries the identity of being the most pure issue, straight from America's founding mint, and that alone makes it incredibly desirable among collectors. Now, let's talk about its composition and artistry. This coin, like others in the series, is made of a copper-nickel blend, a metal that resists corrosion, but over time tells its own story through color and tone. On the obverse, the Native American profile is carved with details so strong that you can feel the pride, the wisdom, and the spirit of a culture etched forever into history. On the reverse, the American bison stands as a symbol of raw strength, wild independence, and the untamed beauty of the American frontier. It's not just a design, it's a sculpture in miniature, a work of art that turned the nation's pocket change into a canvas of heritage. What makes the 1914 with no mint mark stand apart is its rarity and high grades. You see, most of these coins went into circulation and were used heavily by millions of people. They passed from hand to hand, shop to shop, until the details were worn smooth. That's why finding one today in extra fine condition, with the facial features still crisp and the buffalo still standing strong in detail, is almost like unearthing a hidden treasure chest. Only a fraction of these coins survive with such beauty, and that is why collectors go wild whenever one appears at auction. And here's where the suspense turns into shock. Because of its rarity, because of its demand, because of its almost mythical place in coin collecting circles, the 1914 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in extra fine condition commands a staggering current market value of $257,000. Yes, $257,000 for a single nickel. A fortune, a treasure, an instant transformation of wealth right there in your hand. This is not a dream, it's reality, and the numbers are climbing every single day. Let me repeat this clearly for you. Coins like this are not just collectibles. They are investments. They are treasures that grow in value as the years pass. Imagine holding something in your palm that the world sees as priceless, something so rare that its presence in your collection could define your legacy. That is the power of the 1914 Buffalo nickel. The market is fierce, The competition is cutthroat, and collectors know they cannot let a coin like this slip away, no matter the cost. Now, here's a tip for collectors. Whenever you stumble upon a buffalo nickel, don't just glance at the date. 1914 is a magic year. If you see no mint mark under the 5 cents on the reverse, your heart should skip a beat. Then check the condition. If the features are sharp and the wear is minimal, you might just be staring at a piece worth a fortune. Keep your eyes open, because treasures like this don't announce themselves, they hide in silence, waiting for someone with knowledge and passion to discover them. To my trusted viewers, remember this. Hidden US Coins is your most faithful source for unveiling these hidden gems. We bring you fresh, daily insights into the treasures that the world too often overlooks. We are not here to tell stories for entertainment. We are here to tell the truth, the faithful truth, about treasures that are real, treasures that change lives, treasures that are waiting to be found. So as we close the curtain on the breathtaking 1914 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, remember this, it is not just a coin. It is a treasure chest disguised in copper nickel. It is wealth condensed into history. It is proof that sometimes the most powerful fortunes are not buried in mountains or locked in vaults. They are hiding in your very own collection, waiting to be recognized. Stay tuned, because this was only the second chapter. 4 more coins remain in today's epic journey, and I promise you the deeper we go, the more incredible the treasures become. This is Hidden US Coins, and you are about to witness numismatic history unfold before your eyes. Next coin, number 3. We've already uncovered 2 treasures that shook us with their beauty and value. But as I always say on Hidden US Coins, the deeper we go, the more powerful the discoveries become. And the next coin on our list is one that glimmers not only with metal but with mystery, history, and fortune. Let me introduce you to the Buffalo nickel from 1925 without a mint mark. This is not just a nickel, it's a silent witness of time, a jewel that has survived nearly a century with grace, and today it shines like a beacon of wealth in the world of collectors. Step back into the year 1925. America was in the heart of the Roaring '20s. Jazz music filled the night. New inventions transformed daily life. Skyscrapers began piercing the sky, and the American dream was alive in every heartbeat. In the middle of this golden decade, people carried the Buffalo nickel in their pockets, a coin that carried more than value. It carried meaning. This particular issue, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, bears no mint mark. And while some might glance at that absence and think it's ordinary, collectors know better. A coin without a mint mark from Philadelphia is tied directly to the nation's original mint, the very birthplace of American currency. That connection alone makes it a piece of living history. Now, let's look at its appearance and composition. The 1925 Buffalo nickel was crafted in copper-nickel alloy, but time has given some of these coins a unique glow. The coin we're talking about today has developed a greenish patina with a silver shine, a natural effect of age and preservation. It's not just a coin, it's a visual masterpiece, with colors that collectors crave. The obverse still features the proud Native American profile, bold and lifelike, while the reverse showcases the bison, standing strong, unbroken, and timeless. When a coin like this catches the light, it doesn't just reflect, it radiates history. And let me tell you why it is so rare and powerful in collector demand. Most 1925 nickels that circulated were worn heavily, losing the sharp details of the cheekbones, feathers, and the buffalo's fur. But when one survives in fine condition with that green and silver brilliance, it instantly becomes a treasure that collectors will chase with passion. Each surviving piece is like a miracle, and demand skyrockets whenever one appears in the auction market. Now, here's the moment that will make your heart pound. The current market value of this 1,925 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, in fine condition, is a staggering $252,000. Yes, $252,000, nearly $250,000 for a single nickel. Think about that. What once was worth 5 cents can now unlock a fortune big enough to change lives. And this isn't a story. It's not exaggeration, it's truth. The coin market recognizes this value, and the price is climbing higher day by day. Owning this coin is like having a treasure chest compressed into metal, wealth, and heritage fused into one. Collectors see this coin as more than money. It is prestige, it is history, It is a trophy that marks them as serious players in the numismatic world. And because so few survive in this striking condition, every auction becomes a battlefield where bidders fight tooth and nail to claim it. The excitement, the energy, the competition, it's all because this coin is not just rare, it is legendary. So here's a tip for collectors. If you're ever lucky enough to spot a 1925 Buffalo nickel, examine it closely. No mint mark means it's from Philadelphia. Then look at its condition. If you see that silver shine, that greenish patina, and strong remaining details, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth more than you ever imagined. Coins like these don't whisper, they roar, if only you know how to listen. To all my viewers, remember, Hidden US Coins is here to guide you with trust, with truth, and with fresh updates every single day. We are not telling you fairy tales, we are uncovering real treasures. Treasures that can change the way you look at the very coins in your collection. Next coin, number 4. My friends, if you've stayed with me until now, you already know we've uncovered some of the most breathtaking treasures in American coinage. But hold tight, because what I'm about to reveal isn't just another coin, it's a turning point in history, a symbol of America's spirit, and one of the most desirable treasures collectors can ever dream of owning. We're talking about the Buffalo nickel from 1913, the famous flat variety, without a mint mark. This isn't just a nickel, it's the very birth of an icon. The very first year, the Buffalo nickel stormed into circulation and captured the imagination of a nation. Now, let's set the stage. The year is 1913. The old Liberty Head nickel design had run its course, and America wanted something bold, something fresh, something that truly reflected the nation's heritage. That's when sculptor James Earl Fraser stepped forward with a design unlike anything ever seen before. A coin that honored the Native American people and celebrated the mighty buffalo of the American plains. The moment it was released, it was more than money, it was art, history, and pride, all struck into a 5-cent piece. But here's where it gets fascinating. In that first year, 2 different reverse designs were struck. The first version, known as the Type 1, or flat ground reverse, showed the buffalo standing on a flat, plain surface. Collectors often call it the flat version because the ground line under the buffalo was broad and level. While it looked bold, it wore down far too quickly in circulation, erasing details and weakening the design. So mid-year, the Mint changed the design, creating the Type 2 or raised ground reverse, which endured better over time. That means the 1913 flat design was only struck for a short period, making it dramatically rarer than later issues. And this is exactly why the 1913 Buffalo nickel flat without mint mark has become a crown jewel in American numismatics. It represents the very beginning, the original vision, the raw artistry before adjustments were made. Add to that the fact that this particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, America's first mint, without a mint mark, and you have a piece that carries immense historical power. Now, let's talk about its composition and look. Like others in the series, it's a copper-nickel blend. But what makes the coin we're focusing on today so breathtaking is its silver shade, a natural tone that has developed over time, giving it a luminous appearance. In fine condition, the Native American's profile is still clear, the feathers still defined, and the buffalo still standing in pride on its flat ground. Every surviving detail feels like a window into 1913 itself. But rarity is the true heart of this treasure. Most of these flat ground nickels were used up, their designs worn smooth in everyday commerce. Finding one today in fine condition is like striking gold in the most unexpected place. The sheer survival of such a coin is nothing short of miraculous, and collectors know it. That's why the demand for this coin is fierce and unrelenting. It is not just rare, it is foundational. It is legendary. Here comes the jaw-dropping truth. Current market value for the 1913 Buffalo nickel flat without mint mark in fine condition is an astonishing $284,000 for a coin that began its life worth just 5 cents. A coin that once jingled in pockets and paid for loaves of bread is now considered a treasure chest in itself, wealth compressed into a tiny disk of history. And this isn't speculation, this is the truth of today's auction market. The value climbs higher every year, and the passion for this coin never fades. For collectors, the 1913 flat isn't just another coin to chase. It's the holy grail of Buffalo nickels. To own one is to own the beginning of an era, to hold the moment when America's coinage transformed into something bold, artistic, and unforgettable. This is a coin that doesn't just belong in a collection, it defines a collection. So here's my tip for collectors. Whenever you see a buffalo nickel from 1913, pay very close attention. The ground beneath the buffalo is flat and broad. You may just be holding the original Type 1 design. Check for the mint mark. If there is none, that means Philadelphia. Details are still visible and the coin has that silver glow. You're staring at a piece that could transform your entire collection and possibly your fortune. Let me remind you, my faithful audience, Hidden US Coins is here every day, faithfully uncovering treasures like this. We are trustful, we are truthful, and we bring you the most powerful updates from the world of numismatics. This is not fiction, this is reality. This is history turned into treasure, and treasure turned into destiny. So as we close the chapter on the 1913 Buffalo nickel flat without mint mark, remember this is not just the first Buffalo nickel, it is one of the most valuable treasures you could ever dream of owning. A coin worth nearly $300,000 today, and a value that only grows stronger with time. This is not just a piece of money, it is a masterpiece, a treasure chest in your pocket, fortune hiding in plain sight. And we're not done yet. We still have 2 more Buffalo nickels to uncover in today's video, each one carrying its own story, its own beauty, and its own unimaginable value. Stay with me because the best is yet to come. This is Hidden US Coins, where history becomes treasure and every treasure tells a story. Next coin, number 5. I'm talking about the Buffalo nickel from 1936 with the D mint mark. This isn't just a coin, it's a stunning masterpiece, a treasure wrapped in history, and one of the most breathtaking survivors from America's coinage legacy. Step back for a moment to the year 1936. The Great Depression was still casting its shadow across the nation, but hope was beginning to stir again. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs were bringing relief and recovery, radio was connecting people like never before, and Americans were rebuilding their dreams brick by brick. In the midst of these difficult yet hopeful times, the Buffalo nickel was still in circulation, reminding every American of strength, heritage, and resilience. Now, let's focus on this particular issue, the 1936 with D, struck at the Denver Mint. That little D mint mark tucked beneath the words 5 cents on the reverse tells its own story. Denver was one of the busiest mints in the nation, striking coins for a region booming with growth and opportunity. But while many of these nickels were minted, few survived in the kind of condition we're discussing today. Take a look at the appearance and composition. Like others in the series, this coin was struck in a copper-nickel alloy, but over the decades it has taken on a spectacular look. The coin we're highlighting glows with gray waves across its surface, and the reverse shines with silver brilliance, as though it carries both the storm and the light of history within it. The Native American portrait still stands with dignity, while the mighty buffalo, even after all these years, still radiates strength. It's a coin that doesn't just catch your eye, it holds it. And here's where its rarity and demand come into play. The 1936 with D is one of the last years before the Buffalo nickel was retired in 1938. That alone makes it desirable. But finding one today in fine condition, with strong details and that silver-gray glow, is rare beyond words. Most of these nickels were worn down in everyday commerce, their details fading away with time. A survivor in such beauty is a prize that collectors fight for, coin that instantly elevates any collection. Now, prepare yourself for the truth, the kind of truth that leaves you stunned. The current market value of the 1936 with D Buffalo nickel in fine condition is an incredible $238,000. Yes, you heard that right. $238,000 for a single nickel. A treasure, a fortune, a life-changing discovery hidden inside what was once just 5 cents. This is not speculation. This is not fiction. It is the reality of the auction market today. And let me tell you something, the demand is climbing higher with every passing year. What is worth nearly $250,000 today will only grow in the future. This coin is proof that sometimes the greatest treasures don't come from gold mines or hidden chests at the bottom of the sea. They come from the very coins that once passed through ordinary hands, only to be rediscovered generations later as priceless pieces of history. The 1936 with D is exactly that survivor, a legacy, a treasure that shines brighter than ever. So here's a tip for collectors. When you're searching for buffalo nickels, don't overlook the later years. Many collectors focus only on the early teens and 20s, but 1936, especially the Denver Mint issue, is a gem in its own right. Look carefully at the surface. If you see those gray waves and that reverse silver shine, and if the details are still bold, you may just be staring at a coin worth more than you ever imagined. And remember, my faithful viewers, Hidden US Coins is here to bring you these treasures with trust, with faith, and with fresh updates every single day. We are not here to exaggerate. We are here to reveal the truth that coins like these exist, that their value is real, and that their power as treasures cannot be denied. So, as we close the chapter on the stunning 1936 with D Buffalo nickel, let this sink in. What once was just pocket change is now a fortune. A coin that carried the dreams of Americans during the Depression now carries the weight of wealth and history. And we are not finished yet. One final coin remains in today's journey, and it is going to leave you absolutely speechless. Next coin, number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the moment you've been waiting for. After a journey through decades of American history, through stories of survival, beauty, and unimaginable value, we arrive at the final coin in today's showcase. And let me tell you this. One is the perfect ending. A coin that combines rarity, history, and raw treasure value in a way that leaves collectors in awe. This is the Buffalo nickel from 1934 with the D mint mark. Now, before we reveal its power, let's travel back in time to the year 1934. America was slowly recovering from the crash of 1929 and the Great Depression that followed. It was a time when every nickel mattered. Families stretched coins to feed households. Every cent was precious. And yet, in those very days, this coin was struck the Buffalo nickel carrying the Denver D mint mark. It didn't just represent money. It represented survival, resilience, and the unshakable American spirit. The Buffalo nickel itself was already an icon by this point. Designed in 1913 by James Earl Fraser, it had become one of the boldest and most artistic coins in U.S. history. On one side, the proud Native American portrait, strong, wise, noble. On the other, the mighty buffalo, standing as a living emblem of America's untamed power. By 1934, the design had already earned its place as a classic, but the coins themselves were wearing thin in circulation, and the end of the series was drawing closer. Now, let's look at this particular issue, the 1934 with D. Street at the Denver Mint, marked by that small but mighty D on the reverse, it stands out among collectors for its scarcity and high-quality condition. Many of these nickels were used hard in commerce, passing through countless hands. That's why finding one today in fine condition, even if circulated with its beauty still intact, is nothing short of extraordinary. The surfaces carry the story of its journey, yet the details remain strong. The Native Americans' features, the buffalo's proud stance, the inscriptions all still whispering the truth of their time. But here's where the suspense hits its peak. Because this coin is not just rare, it's a fortune waiting to be recognized. The current market value of the 1934 with D Buffalo nickel in fine condition stands at a jaw-dropping $244,000. Yes, $244,000 for a coin that once bought a loaf of bread. This is no exaggeration, no fiction, no fantasy. This is the truth of today's auction market. A coin like this is not less than a treasure chest hidden in plain sight, and the value is rising every single day. What is already worth nearly $250,000 will only grow higher as collectors battle to claim what so few can ever own. To own this coin is to hold history in your hand. It is to hold wealth, legacy, and power in a single disc of copper and nickel. It is proof that fortune is not always hidden in faraway places. Sometimes it's right here, disguised in what once was ordinary pocket change. Here's my tip for collectors. Whenever you see a Buffalo nickel with D mint mark, stop and look closer. Especially with the date 1934, examine the condition carefully. Even a circulated piece, if still showing its beauty and strength, could be worth more than a house, more than a lifetime of savings. These coins are treasure maps written in metal, and the key to unlocking them is knowledge. And as we close today's incredible journey through 6 ultra-rare buffalo nickels, let me remind you, my faithful audience, Hidden US Coins is your most trusted guide into this world of hidden treasures. We bring you faithful truths, daily updates, and stories that are not just entertaining but real, powerful, and life-changing. Think about what we've uncovered today. 6 coins that began life as nickels, worth 5 cents each, now transformed into treasures worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is not luck, this is history, rarity, and collector passion all coming together to turn metal into fortune. And who knows, the next great discovery might be hiding in your very own collection. So, my friends, never underestimate the power of a coin. Because as we've seen today, Buffalo Nickel is never just a nickel. It can be a gateway to legacy, symbol of treasure, and a fortune beyond imagination. This is Hidden US Coins, where history becomes treasure and treasure becomes destiny. Stay with us, stay faithful, because tomorrow, we will bring you even more hidden gems that the world needs to see. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this treasure hunt into the world of rare buffalo nickels, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay updated with the most valuable coins in today's market. Your support helps us grow and bring you more hidden coin secrets.